Hello, and welcome everyone. Today we'll be cooking chicken noodle soup. And here are your ingredients. We're going to take a 5 or 6 quart pot and fill it with water, about halfway through. Half full or half empty, I don't know, you decide. Set that on the stove at medium heat perhaps, and let the water in the pot start boiling while we're preparing the chicken and potatoes. Okay, chicken breasts, we're going to cut them up into smaller pieces. It's a great soup for this kind of weather. It's cold, everybody's waiting for spring, and chicken noodle soup is probably the best. I'll share my secret with you today that I normally use to make the soup taste even better. Everybody has a slightly different variation for chicken noodle soup, so I'm kind of curious to hear what everybody does and how they cook it. Now all of this will be going into the pot. Now potatoes, but before that, meat safety handling instructions. After you're done with meat, make sure you wash your board, make sure you use a different one for your other ingredients like your vegetables, make sure you use a different knife afterwards as well. Here's a potato related joke. What did one potato say to the other? I've got an eye on you. Now we're cubing them into smaller pieces before we add them together with the chicken. And the water I hear is almost boiling, so that's perfect. Once the water is boiling, we want the chicken and potatoes to cook for 20 minutes together. 10 minutes into it, we're going to add pasta. So the pasta cooks for about 10 minutes. And now we'll be combining potatoes with chicken. And time to peel your onion while we're waiting for the potatoes and chicken to start boiling. Cutting up your onion here. That'll be the base of the sauté that will combine together with potatoes and the chicken. And setting the stove to medium heat, adding a couple of tablespoons of vegetable oil to start sautéing our onions, carrots, and celery after we chop them all up. And your onion goes first. Now that the chicken and potatoes are boiling, we need to start the timer for 10 minutes to let us know when to throw in the pasta. And then cook the pasta 10 minutes afterwards. Carrots going next, and celery going next. Adding the celery to the mixture. So basically, the way I approach cooking chicken noodle soup is I do it in 2 steps. Step number 1, preparing your chicken and potatoes. They go in first. They cook in total for 20 minutes. 10 minutes into it, you'll be throwing in the pasta and cooking the pasta for 10 more minutes. As that's happening, it smells so good. As that's happening, you're preparing the sauté, which is basically your onions, carrots, and celery. And once the chicken, pasta, and potatoes are ready, you will throw in the sautéed vegetables together and boil for about 5 more minutes. And that's it. Well, and here's one more thing. There's a secret that I wanted to share with you at the beginning, so I'm gonna tell you about that as well. The timer is done. Throwing in my pasta. Cooking all of this for 10 more minutes. By the time this is done, your sautéed vegetables will be done. Look how beautiful. They smell amazing. Don't forget to stir them occasionally. Let's add some minced garlic into the mix. We're combining the sautéed vegetables with the broth. And mix it all together and cook for 5 more minutes. You could also add some garlic powder. So the last thing to do then is to add an egg to a broth together with the sautéed vegetables and quickly stir it around with your fork so that it doesn't clump all together